Alright, hello everyone. Quick update my 1000 days challenge. This is day 559, so let's get things started. Alright, so first and foremost, in terms of balance wise, it's a little bit of an improvement, but actually right now, because of the sudden pullback of the market itself, we actually have a very huge swing down and a very distinct swing up in terms, especially on the daily, on the intraday basis. So it actually triggered a lot of my stop loss, so definitely going further down on this. But yeah, this was after yesterday, there was some profit taking in that sense. Otherwise, in terms of main trading account setup, nothing too much. I'm just in the long setup for Ethereum because among Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink itself, I do see Ethereum doing or potentially having the most potential right now in terms of risk to reward and setup. So right now, I'm need long in terms of that. So Bitcoin and Link-wise, I'm staying a little bit more cautious because right now we could definitely continue towards the upside and create this new bull market for crypto itself. But of course, we could also shift towards the downside, especially if the traditional financial market in US decided to have a second plunge in that sense. All right. Yeah. Otherwise, just you can take a quick look over here. I would say US market generally, I would say neutral territory, potential for upside, potential for downside is equivalently there. So I would say relatively neutral for now. So for AHR and KWEB definitely leans towards the downside, but similarly, it doesn't look to be extremely bearish because price is still above support. So I wouldn't say there's bearish in that sense, technically speaking. So if we do bounce strongly above, for me, we just need 1 or 2 candlesticks to so-called ignite the kind of a chain buying effect that can take place into the buying community, then of course it could have a very strong impact in that sense. All right, and then finally for Bitcoin itself, so something I'd like to mention is that it was quite unexpected. We actually have a swing down all the way, and this very sharp wick itself took a lot of my stop losses for a lot of my other tokens itself, but not for Bitcoin. So let's see how things goes. But overall, I do see potential that we could definitely hit the 46K mark, or even be it today, or even like before the closing of today itself, or even tomorrow itself. Definitely think looks to be a little bit more bullish in that sense. Even though I do want some sort of retracement, what I do see on the forward chart is a potential kind of ascending triangle setup. But of course, it depends on this candle. We can definitely just go straight on the way up. But what I would prefer is actually another retest and then another tight consolidation over here. So perhaps a break over the weekend itself on perhaps Sunday or even Saturday itself for a very strong break towards the upside, in which case this small little triangle, ascending triangle, could leads us to the 47K region itself. And yeah, that will be a very nice change or shift for momentum itself. And then we have a weekly retest, and then we could potentially retest the 50 to 52K region itself. Definitely a key region to look into. All right, otherwise, that's more or less about it. Right now, I'm definitely not looking to enter a long, simply because if we do enter a long over here, stop loss wise you'll be here, but the point is the point of the fact is you have a clear resistance right over here, so there isn't much of a mid in place, so the risk to reward isn't attractive to me. So when risk to reward isn't attractive to me for a pullback kind of a structure, I'll wait for consolidation. So generally it's just that a spring, the more it tends to wind up or consolidate or winds up from a spring perspective, the stronger it has to bounce, and it may potentially be strong enough to break resistances easier than before. It's basically like there's a paper we put above a spring. If you actually push it down hard enough, so it's actually enough coin, and if it down bounces strong enough, you can break this thin layer of paper very easily in that sense. That is an analogy level to go for. But on the other hand, if you just want to have a very weak kind of a consolidation and then a bounce, it could be too weak to break that resistance on the very first try. So that's just the analogy behind it. Otherwise, that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.